Good morning, everyone. I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Carrie Nace. I'm the Legislative Director for the Pennsylvania State Grange, and we're here for a historic celebration on the 150th anniversary of our founding in Pennsylvania. I am so honored to be able to represent the people standing behind me. We are a bipartisan group who gets things done for rural Pennsylvanians. And I think it's a testament to the wonderful House and Senate members behind me in a bipartisan fashion are standing behind me on behalf of rural Pennsylvania. And you're going to hear from a few speakers in a minute, but I would like to introduce first our president, Matt Espenshade, and we will hear from some amazing speakers. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Pennsylvania State Grange, it is my pleasure to welcome you here today. I'm here today with so many wonderful people that have come from across the state and legislators that are taking time out of their very busy Tuesday to stand here and recognize the important impact that the Grange has had over the years. When the Grange was established in 1873 here in Pennsylvania, I'm sure that the founders and those that were there to serve as charter members could not have imagined the impact that that organization would have over the years. And as we stand here today, we look back and we think about the numerous ways that the Grange has helped empower our rural communities and work in the service of the agricultural community. But as you know, our brightest days are yet to come, and we're definitely looking forward to the continuing work of the Grange and working for the betterment of agriculture and our rural communities. We're very pleased to have here today Greg Hostetter, representing the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. Greg serves as the Executive Deputy Secretary and under the watch of Secretary Russell Redding. Greg has spent his career in public service through roles in the county, state, and the federal level. He served as the Vice President of the Lebanon County Farm Bureau. And of course, you know, as he's worked as the Department of Agriculture's Deputy Secretary, he's proven himself to be a committed leader to rural communities and a trusted steward of the values, mission, and the vision of the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. It is my pleasure to welcome Greg Hostetter.
Thank you, President Espenshade. And I will sort of deny being a politician. I'm still a Lebanon County production farmer.
And a politician.
Yeah. So it is an honor to be here on behalf of the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture and on behalf of Secretary Redding. I'm going to start off with a citation here from the Secretary. I will read that here, so it is a short citation. Greetings. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate you on the 150th anniversary of the Pennsylvania State Grange. It is always a great day when you can celebrate agriculture in Pennsylvania, especially great when you can recognize an organization with such great historic and cultural value. For 150 years, the Pennsylvania State Grange has advocated for the betterment of agriculture and rural communities and populations throughout their service. Education, legislation, and fellowship. The Pennsylvania State Grange has been a critical partner and played an instrumental role in supporting the Department of Agriculture's efforts to accomplish critical reforms and investments, such as the Pennsylvania Farm Bill. So thank you so much, and including the legislators here as well. We really appreciate the support. The department is honored to recognize the Pennsylvania State Grange today, and we look forward to many more centuries and celebrations. Please accept my best wishes and continued happiness and success. Russell Redding, Secretary of Agriculture. So, I'll deliver this in a minute here. So now I'll make some personal comments from my end. So growing up, you know, on the farm and interaction with the Grange, I would say very good people, good organization, building good communities. For an example, I mean, they inspire, they mentor youth, they develop leaders of all ages. I see them participate behind the scenes whether it's helping, again, in addition to their own organization, 4-H and FFA needs. If it's the local fire company, they're always volunteering to help with fundraisers, baking goods, and helping folks with meals that are in time of need. So I really appreciate the community service and support and the family atmosphere of the Grange. So thank you, and I look forward to all the distinguished speakers here that I can learn from today as well.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you so much, Greg. Before I introduce our next speaker, I just do want to acknowledge a representative on the steps, Representative Scott Conklin from State College. He is actually a 6th degree Grange member, and if you don't know what that is, it's pretty impressive. And I think he wants to get his 7th. Yes. He is also the prime sponsor of HR 148, which recognizes September 18th as Grange Day in Pennsylvania. So thank you so much, Scott, for being here. Our next speaker is the chairman of the House Ag Committee and has established himself as a passionate and consensus-building voice in the General Assembly, working on things that our neighbors need, much like the Pennsylvania State Grange does in our communities. He was first elected in 2006, and he also currently serves as a board member of the Center for Rural PA and PA Hardwoods Development Council. He received his Bachelor of Science from Wilkes University in music education, and I encourage anyone, if you get a chance, take a chance and listen to him. You won't regret it. Next, Representative Eddie Day Pushinsky.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And welcome to the Capitol, and congratulations. 150 years. That is spectacular, and I mean that sincerely. It's great to be here, and it's wonderful to be serving as the Democratic chair of the Ag Committee since 2017. During that time, I have learned so much about the ag industry and got to meet so many wonderful people within that entire system. What you all do is so important for the future of Pennsylvania. And we're looking forward to the next 150 years, are we not? In addition to that, I'd like to give out a special thank you to Scott Conklin for his sponsorship of the State Grange Day. That's going to be celebrated on September 18th, 2023, so we're going to be here. Scott will be giving autographs at about $10 a piece. Scott's a great guy, and I know that he'll get me back on that some other time. But in any case, 150 years is pretty special. You have over 5,700 members. I believe you have over 170 different Grange organizations, and you do incredible work. You are the voice of rural Pennsylvania, whether it's Rural Electric, whether it's the Broadband Authority. All of those things that you're involved with is expanding and improving the lives of the folks in rural Pennsylvania. So it makes sense to be a part of this and to make people in Pennsylvania aware of all the wonderful things that you do, besides food. I think that's pretty important. And the kind of work ethic that you all have, the dedication that you have in order to bring the kinds of food that we receive here in Pennsylvania is, again, another fitting example of the wonderful work that you all do. One other point I want to make is the fact that I've had a wonderful experience in meeting the young people that are the future of Pennsylvania Ag. Where are the young folks that are part of this Grange? Give them a nice round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the future. And again, all of the work that you all do is truly, really inspiring and obviously important. So you're already playing an important role in our communities while growing individually and are critical to ensuring that the Grange continues to improve our communities and our Commonwealth moving forward. All I have is nothing but great things to say. Congratulations to you all. I have such high respect for all of you and for the great work that the State Grange does. happy 150th, and we're looking forward to celebrating September 18th right here. So make sure you put that in your calendar, and yes, free autographs by Scott Conklin. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those wonderful remarks. Next, another gentleman who I know very well, Representative Dan Mao, Minority Committee on Agriculture. He has served since 2006. He grew up on a farm in rural Adams County, and in his second term as chairman of the House Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee, a committee on which he previously served for several years. He also serves on the House Tourism and Recreational Development. These committees address important legislation aimed at enhancing Pennsylvania's leading industries, agriculture and tourism. Dan has been a tireless advocate for his horse farms as he represents Hanover Shoe Farms. And if anybody knows racing, you know we are world recognized for winning trotters. I'm proud to live in Adams County alongside of Dan and pleased to call him a friend. Dan Mao.
Thank you very much, Carrie. Thank you, Matt, for everything that you do. And I do not charge for my autographs either. Yes, the Grange does wonderful things, and they always have, and they always will. And I'm very proud to be standing here today on their 150th year. I'll give you a little walk through history. A gentleman by the name of Oliver Hudson Kelly, who was a staff member in 1866 of the United States Department of Agriculture, was sent to the South to survey the conditions of the farms after the Civil War. He conceived an idea while he was in the South of putting this country back together by creating a fraternal organization composed of farmers from all over the country. In 1867, in Washington, D.C., the Order of the Patrons of Husbandry was born. In 1873, the Grange took root in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Grange was started in Reading. Today in Pennsylvania, the Grange is approximately 5,700 members strong. This next part says it all. The Grange is dedicated to the betterment of the American way of life through community service, education, legislation, and fellowship. The Grange is the oldest agriculture and rural advocacy organization of its kind in the United States, and currently, nationwide, it is approximately 140,000 members strong. It pleases me very much to congratulate the Grange on its 150th anniversary, and I look forward to many more years of the good work that they do. Congratulations to the Grange. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan, for that. Our next speaker was elected in 2008, serving Clarion and Armstrong County. Donna is a tireless advocate for rural Pennsylvania. In fact, she is the co-chair of the Rural Health Caucus, an issue the Pennsylvania State Grange is extremely invested in. Prior to her time in the General Assembly, Donna put her talents to use as Clarion County Commissioner, where she excelled in strategic planning for economic development and growth. She currently serves as the chairman of the House Tourism Committee, and I can tell you I hear so many amazing things from Clarion County Granges on her tireless advocate for rural Pennsylvania. Next, Donna Oberlander.
Thank you, Carrie. Well, good morning, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today in support of the 150 years, and congratulations to all of those who are behind me and the over 5,700 members of the Grange across Pennsylvania. As was said, I do represent Clarion and Armstrong County, and if you don't know Clarion and Armstrong County, let me explain to you that they are rural. And so I've known about the Grange for a very long time, and the advocacy, the civic duty, and the community support that they provide. I do recall that my predecessor, that was one of the first places we went, was to meet with the Grange because we knew they knew. And so we went there when we met with them, and they were very active. In my area, we have over 6 Granges, and I want to talk a little bit about, for those of you in the audience who may not know what the Grange is, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that they do, and I'll talk about what we do in our area specifically. So we have Ag in the Classroom, and they work to get materials to local teachers so more students can learn about the importance of agriculture in our local communities. They have the Bacon Buddies. It's based on a program in Iowa, but don't you love the name? Bacon Buddies. Who doesn't love bacon? They match up special needs children with 4-H'ers to learn about raising an animal. Talking Tuesdays, someone comes in every week to present on a different topic: canning, beekeeping, using herbs in cooking. Coal-operating plants were even presented. Now think about that. Those are the things that allow us to be self-sufficient, that allow us to survive in tough times. And I think it's terrific that they are keeping those things alive for us. As Republican Chairman of Tourism and Economic and Recreational Development, it is my mission to help shine a light on Pennsylvania's top 2 industries: agriculture and tourism. And for those of you who don't know, tourism is a $66.3 billion industry and creates over 453,000 jobs. It's a pretty big deal. And agriculture, $81.5 billion and over 302,000 jobs. So it's really great that these two things intersect so often. And I'm really pleased that the General Assembly is committing to working with the Grange on the priorities of broadband access, agritourism, business protections, promoting dairy, funding for Penn State's agriculture and veterinary studies, and conservation and sustainability. And I'm also, as a woman, pleased to say that in 1871, when the Grange was actually created, they allowed women to vote, well before the United States of America allowed women to vote. So thank you for being so forward-thinking and allowing us to have a voice. It's terrific. So with that, again, I say congratulations. I wish you 150 more. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Donna. Before I introduce our last speaker, I do want to take a second to recognize someone of significance in the steps. Betsy? Betsy Huber, she's our national Grange president, is here today to represent. Betsy is from Chester County. She was the Pennsylvania state president, and now she is national. So we are extremely lucky to be represented in Harrisburg, in DC by her. And I am thrilled that members of the Chester County delegation are here, in which she comes from. So thank you, Betsy, for being here. Last but not least, I would like to bring Doug Bonsall up. He is the head of the History Committee to kind of wrap up and explain some last points of what the Grange means to Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie, and welcome to all who are here today. You've heard a lot of talk about 150 years of service by the Pennsylvania State Grange. And we've been planning for almost 2 years for this year's celebration. All across Pennsylvania, we're encouraging our local Granges in various communities to be of particular service to those communities, challenging those Granges to do new and exciting service projects. You've heard the date of September the 18th, when State Grange Day will be celebrated right here in the Capitol. That is 150 years to the day that the State Grange was organized in 1873 in downtown Reading. And then our celebration will continue and climax at our annual state session, which will be held in Morgantown, Berks County, during the week of October 18th through 22nd. You're all invited. The Grange welcomes all to attend its functions, and we will begin with a tour of Lancaster County Agriculture on the day preceding the session. That would be Wednesday, October the 18th. And then we will continue with business sessions, a big celebration on Saturday, October 21st, with a pageant and a banquet, and then concluding on Sunday after some really challenging workshop presentations. So again, you're all welcome. Thank you for being part of our history.
Thank you, Doug. That concludes our press conference. I just want to reiterate that we are so proud to be supported by all the wonderful members behind me, and we appreciate your attendance. Thank you.